During the days following this event, nothing particular happened in my general state, unless it was that I walked more often than usual with my feet in the air. With my feet in the air. That is to say, well, on my hands, on my hands, and with feet in the air. My first act that was obviously not in accord with the manifestations of others, though without the participation either of my consciousness or of my subconscious. Ponder on the meaning of that. Though without the participation either of my consciousness or of my subconscious. Well, there's a question. What else is there? Occurred on exactly the 40th day after my grandmother's death, when our family, our relatives, and all those who had esteemed my dear grandmother, who was loved, my grandmother who was loved by everybody, were gathered in the cemetery, as was the custom, to perform over her mortal remains, reposing in the grave, what is called the requiem service. Suddenly, without rhyme or reason, instead of observing what was conventional among people of all degrees of tangible and intangible morality, and of every station in life, that is, instead of standing quietly as if overwhelmed, with an expression of grief, on the face, and even if possible with tears in the eyes, Gurdjieff, I started skipping and dancing around the grave, following the injunction, her last dying wish, the wish of a dying grandmother for Gurdjieff. Do not do as others do. So, as an 8-year-old, you're going to do that in the only way you can. Skipping and dancing, and the opposite of all the grief and tears, like that. Do not do what others do. What his grandmother suggested to him. And he's dancing and skipping around the grave and sang, "Let her with the saints repose. She was a rare one, goodness knows." And so on and so forth. And from this moment on, Gurdjieff continues to write here, as regards any form of aping, that is, imitating the habitual automatized manifestations of those around me, a something, quote-unquote something, always arose in my presence, engendering what I should now call an irresistible urge to do things not as others do. Because Gurdjieff's grandmother said it, in life, never do as others do. And so he's doing that. So at that age, 8 years of age, more or less. For example, I did such things as the following. When my brother, sisters, and the neighbors' children who came to play with us were learning to catch a ball only with the right hand, and threw it in the air, I would first bounce the ball hard on the ground, and when it rebounded, after first doing a somersault, I would catch it. But only with the thumb and middle finger of the left hand. Or if all the other children slid down the hill head first, I would try to do it, and moreover, better and better each time. Backside first. Asshole first. Or if we were given various kinds of Abrahamian pastries, and the others, before putting them into their mouths, would first of all lick them. Those of us can recall from our early beginnings life here in America doing the same kind of thing with Oreo cookies. First lick them and lick all the cream out of the middle, evidently to try the flavor and prolong the pleasure, as kids will do with an Oreo cookie here in America. I would first sniff one on all sides, and perhaps even put it to my ear, like a fucking cell phone. And listen very intently, like you would with a cell phone. And then almost unconsciously, though very seriously, I would mutter to myself, "Enough is enough. You don't need to stuff." And humming to an appropriate rhythm, would swallow it whole without savoring it. And so on and so forth.